To help with pacing your energy, you also need to understand your chronotype. The idea of a chronotype is the time of day where you have the most energy. You've got the people who are most energetic in the morning, which isn't necessarily me, people who are best in the evening, and then somewhere in the middle. And there's a lot of gradations to that, but the general idea is thinking about at what times of the day do you have most energy, making sure that you structure the difficult parts of your day around those times, and making sure that at the times where you naturally have less energy, that you put in activities where you are able to recover a bit more. So if you have high energy in the mornings, for example, you'd obviously schedule your deep focus time in the morning, and afternoons might be more of a rest time where it might be things that require less deep focus. And you want to make sure that in the evening that you cognitively reduce by not working on tasks and not looking at emails just before bed, because that's going to make it hard to sleep. A lot of people think that they're night owls, and that may be the case. I think it is overrepresented in general in the neurodivergent community. But I think part of it as well is that we may not be actually following our circadian rhythms. We might be experiencing technology-induced jet lag, where you're staying on your computer or your phone late at night, and then it's hard to wake up in the morning. But is the cause that you're naturally better in the evening? Or is the cause that you're kind of messing yourself up by using tech late at night? The other reason might be that in the evening there are typically fewer people bothering us, and so it can feel easier to get work done during that time. But it might be that there are ways of structuring the day so that you have more time in the morning or midday where you don't have people interrupting you all the time, and then you can better align with your circadian cycles. Because I think for most humans, we do best if we get sunlight in the morning and if we see the sun set in the evening. And if you're not waking up until noon, and therefore you're missing those signals, and you're not seeing the sunset at night, then your circadian cycle is going to become dysregulated, and it's going to be hard to have consistent energy. You might also find that you have delayed sleep phase syndrome, where you don't have any consistency about what time you go to sleep. And that may actually, again, be due to, I don't want to say bad habits, but it kind of is. That if you keep on staying on tech at night, and if you keep on doing things, then you're going to go later and later if you don't have self-discipline around shutting off at a certain time and going to bed. And that might mean that in order to actually get to sleep, you need to have some new activities, that doing some exercise a few hours before bed to tire out your body, and doing some journaling to dump out the thoughts in your mind so that it's easier to sleep. That might mean that rather than having to wait until you're completely, utterly shattered in order to be able to sleep, and needing to, say, be watching a TV show at the same time to occupy your brain, you might find that some of these other strategies allow you to sleep more consistently. Because if you can figure out a consistent time to wake up and go to sleep, then it makes a lot of other things easier. It makes it easier then to align with a typical workday that most people have got a 9 to 5, and there are ways that you can work at different intervals, but it's going to typically be easier for a lot of things if you can align to the typical having some energy in the morning and going to sleep at night.